Oh my goodness. Games are just going by too fast, and I don't even know what to do about it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bahroo here, back with some more Dead by Daylight, and today what we're going to be doing is discussing the whole generator rush meta that has been taking place inside of Dead by Daylight. If you've been playing Dead by Daylight recently, you might have noticed that games are starting to go by faster and faster over the past couple of weeks than they have been usually. What exactly is causing this? Why is this a big issue, and what can be done to kind of fix it? Well, to give you the quick and dirty version, basically, there's less stuff to do inside the actual map. And we'll go ahead and discuss that. So some of the bigger changes that have been made to Dead by Daylight is the whole point generation thing. And the reason this is important is because, yes, getting the generators, getting out, and getting out of the map and winning is the objective for the survivors. That's a given. That's what they're supposed to do. It's not really their fault. And it's not the killer's fault either. It's more of what's ended up happening with this game. As we've gone through the entire game, some changes have been made. The biggest one, honestly, has been just sabotage. Now, when the game first came out, everybody and their mother ran sabotage, and everyone saboed all the hooks, and all the killers ended up complaining that, hey, there's no hooks, I don't have iron grip, I can't do anything. And it was a valid concern. With all of the hooks destroyed on the map, there really wasn't much to really do against the survivors. You down them and that's about it. You just kind of leave them there. Because it's just like, all right, well, I guess I can't do anything. Which ended up making iron grip more of a mandatory thing. And so all of the killers ended up throwing on iron grip. Now, because that sabotage ended up getting nerfed, it had its point generation cut in half, and it makes a sound notification. A lot more survivors are spending less time sabotaging hooks and more time doing generators. The reason that's important is because when the game first came out, everybody would try and rush to hooks and try and destroy them. Not really so much to screw over the killer, but so much so that it gave them easy blood points. It was an easy rank up. It was a lot of experience that you could spend on your blood web, and overall, it was just quick. And it wasted the survivor's time, which is a huge aspect to this game, is that it wasted the survivor's time. You see, in this game, it's a lot about the killer's time. The time you have as a killer is very precious. It's limited. Whereas, in a sense, the survivor's time is unlimited. As long as you don't get found, you won't have much of an issue. The only time the ticker starts ticking on your life is when you actually get put on a hook, not necessarily when you get found. So overall, the killer's time is very limited. And because more survivors are now not sabotaging hooks and instead getting on generators, there's less for them to do. In addition, there's also the nurse. When she first came out, she had no counterplay. The only thing you could do against her was to just get generators and get out. So a lot of people started getting used to generators rushing and get used to just getting in and out of a game quickly. So what they wanted to end up doing was, you know, they get in the game, they find a generator, and they move on to the next game. And they get their blood points because this game is a huge-ass grind. Again, this isn't really an issue with the survivors, as it's more of how the game has sort of adapted over the past couple of months. Take that into account that the map has had its point generation reduced to 1/6 of what it was before, and taking off, I believe, 550 blood points a blind off the flashlight. And you've got a whole lot of things that survivors did inside of this game that are now just seen as no longer worth my time. The only thing that is worth their time is unhooking. But a lot of survivors really won't unhook now because a lot of killers will end up camping because they don't have a lot of time to begin with. So because killers camp, survivors won't save. Because survivors won't save, generators get done. Because generators get done, games are faster. And it's just sort of this self-fulfilling cycle that just keeps going on and on and on. And again, a lot of this reasoning isn't a fault of really the killers or the survivors. It's more just the fact that changes to the game have been made and there's a lot less to do inside the actual game. What could be done to alleviate this is hopefully add more things to do as the survivor, maybe even as the killer. Add more than just do the generators. Add an alternative way besides just, you know, getting the killer's attention or getting generators to generate blood points. What they could end up doing, honestly, I have no idea. I'm not that big on balance, but that's honestly what this game really does need. Because otherwise it's going to start getting very, very repetitive. Which, I mean, Dead by Daylight is already an extremely repetitive game. It's just, for some reason, addicting, especially to myself. But it will become less repetitive, and it'll promote more than just a very linear style of gameplay, which is what's been happening here recently. Overall, I would like to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions in the comment section of what you think. Have you been playing Dead by Daylight recently, and how do you feel about the current meta of how, you know, generators are just getting online quickly and there's just very little for the survivors to actually do? You know, again, it's not their fault that all they do is the objective. There needs to be some incentive to do something other than the objective in order to promote more of these somewhat longer games around the 7 to 8 minute mark instead of the 4 to 5 minute mark, because a couple of minutes is very huge as the killer, because as we said, their time is limited. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, hit the like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. It would greatly appreciate it. It would probably greatly appreciate it. The entity would. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.